Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, 5 years after the disappearance of Jeremy Vasquez, his mother speaks out on the latest insight and updates on his case. Plus, Representative A.J. Louderback dishes on the UHV transfer bill's success, its backstory, and what's next as UHV joins the Texas A&M family. Plus, with hurricane season coming, FEMA's staffing crisis has experts worried about whether the agency is ready for what's ahead.
Well, we had a lot of rain this morning, but things are going to be changing. We're going to see a warming trend. Plus, we may see a couple showers this week, and we'll be talking about that.
And Victoria Generals ready to kick off their season Thursday night. We'll hear from the Generals head coach Michael Oros later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shawna Currie. Dawn Brubaker has the night off. With many unanswered questions, a Victoria mother is talking about her son, who was last seen more than 5 years ago. 25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley spoke with the mother of Jeremy Vasquez to get some insight on how she feels. And Ray, what did she have to tell you?
Yes, Shawna, Angie Vasquez describes her son Jeremy as kind-hearted as she holds on to hope for a break in his missing persons case. She admits she wishes she had been a better mom to him.
He would do my hair and my makeup, and we'd just be jamming, to Shantae or something, Yeah, I miss that.
Angie remembers her son, Jeremy, as a generous, fun-loving kid who give you the shirt off his back without a second thought. On February 20th, 2020, Jeremy told his family he didn't want to go to school. He said he just needed some air. That was the last day he was seen. His stepmother said he saw him walk into the woods, and then he was gone.
I'll never stop looking for my son, and even though that I'm legally blind now, I'll still search everywhere for my boy, because we all want him back home and we all miss him.
That morning, police had been called to Jeremy's father's house because of an argument between Jeremy's father and his stepmother. Angie says the pain of that day still haunts her, and it's a pain she wouldn't wish on anyone. She often dreams about him, imagining what he would look like now.
I think I would just scream and just pure joy and happiness.
Despite the years, Angie holds on to hope. She believes with all her heart that one day they'll be reunited.
One day, my son will come back home.
Angie's message to other mothers is simple but powerful. Never stop searching. 25 News Now requested the investigation report from Victoria Police, but the department sent it to the Texas Attorney General's office asking to keep it confidential. The AG agreed, so for now, the details of the case remain sealed. Shawna?
Well, thank you, Ray. A lot of moving parts will fall into place over the summer to make the transfer of the University of Houston Victoria official on September 1st. 25 News Now Sunrise anchor Carolina Estrain spoke with our state representative A.J. Louderback to learn more about the next steps.
Yes, Shawna, I am now joined by A.J. Louderback, our State House representative for District 30, and he's here to talk to us about the success of the UHV transfer bill. Welcome, A.J.
Good morning. Thank you.
So talk to us about this process. When did you start having conversations with Senator Lois Clokhorst and the community members? When did you first know about this bill being reintroduced?
Well, historically, I'm pretty aware of the desire for House District 30 and for Lois's district, Senate District 18, to bring A&M to Victoria. So there's long been, there's a lot of information back from 2011, 2013 about bringing A&M here, and there's a ton of support.
And what can we look forward to hearing about this summer? I know that it becomes official June 1st. Will there be announcements of school colors, mascots, that kind of thing being rolled out, new marketing? What can we expect?
You can expect right now, A&M, I've talked to Comptroller Hager for a few more days here. regularly about this. I've talked to him this week. So we are in regular communications about it. The curriculum is being worked on now. A future president will be forthcoming for A&M Victoria. So there's a lot of work being done on the back end here to facilitate this transfer into our area.
Are you excited to see that kind of growth happen here? Will Texas A&M grow the campus?
I think we're going to see the enrollment go up drastically, very quickly. I think that we're going to see a curriculum that's designed for the area to take care of the demand that we have for jobs. I think this is going to facilitate, our children staying here and getting a Texas A&M education and going to work here with a curriculum that's more aligned with our region. So I think all of these things, when you put this together, you have a package that's it can be so successful, and I have every confidence in the world that A&M has the expertise together in the correct way. I think they're very open to communication. I think they want the best for the area, and they want the best for Texas, and that's a winning combination.
Thank you so much, Representative Lauterbach, for your time and for everything that you're doing, and we appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Appreciate you. Take care.
Thank you. You too. Back to you, Shawna.
The Texas House has approved the negotiated version of a bill that bans people tied to the governments of China, North Korea, Russia, and Iran from buying land in the state. The bill is awaiting Senate approval before going to the governor. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit crossroadstoday.com. With a mix of morning storms and then afternoon sunshine today, let's go to meteorologist Jacob Lozano for a first look at what we can expect over the weekend. Jacob?
Well, we're going to start to see a warming trend, but I mean, look at that. We saw some great rain for us, though, this morning. And we may see a little continuation this weekend. It's going to be because of this stalled front that has just slowly been moving. It's currently just right south of Victoria. That's where the winds are meeting, the converging, the north and south winds are. But that thing's going to be sitting around there for a little bit, but we're also going to be seeing some warming coming up because of a high pressure. But look at the rainfall totals that we had there, anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches, 3 to 4 inches possible that had happened up farther north of there. But if you look along the Guadalupe Basin, we got a good amount of rain for us here if the numbers wanted to pop up, but they're not going to. But we'll be talking about that coming up. Shawna?
The Atlantic hurricane season starts on Sunday, but an internal review says FEMA is, quote, not ready, and top officials are stepping down. Lee Waldman reports.
About 10% of FEMA's total workforce has left since January, including the former acting FEMA administrator, Cameron Hamilton, who was fired earlier this month after telling lawmakers he opposed dismantling the agency. Projections suggest by the end of the calendar year, staff losses will total 30%, according to a FEMA official.
I worry a lot about how thin the situation is and the ability to get information across during what could be a very active season.
Fears are churning over the preparedness of what's forecasted to be another active Atlantic hurricane season.
It only takes one, so we got to be prepared right now.
However, an internal memo obtained by CNN suggests that FEMA is not ready for the June 1st start to the season. Quote, as FEMA transforms to a smaller footprint, the intent for this hurricane season is not well understood. Thus, FEMA is not ready. President Donald Trump has criticized the agency for months, and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has vowed to eliminate it.
President Trump has given us the responsibility of looking at an agency that in the past has been there in times of crisis for many people on their worst day that they've ever experienced, but many times in the past it has failed.
With hurricane season imminent, multiple sources and an internal memo obtained by CNN show DHS is inserting more than half a dozen of its officials into key front office roles at FEMA, though they appear to have limited experience managing natural disasters, according to the officials' bios included in the announcement. Some experts are worried the shakeup at FEMA will harm the preparation, mitigation, and response after natural disaster strikes.
There have been a lot of cuts to, again, FEMA staffing and FEMA funding, and that's going to have impacts on the local emergency response.
Recently, FEMA has reopened training centers to get staff prepared for the hurricane season and lengthened contract extensions for part-time workers who are deployed to disaster areas. In New York, I'm Lee Waldman.
Many 6-year-olds dream of balloons, cake, and presents for their birthday, but not Audie Hogan. Instead of a party, this big-hearted little girl from Victoria is asking to help others. Audie and her mom Desiree set up shop at the VCAM offices this morning to collect food and hygiene products for people in need. Desiree says seeing Audie light up while giving back means more than any birthday celebration ever could.
This year, she said for her birthday she couldn't wait any longer, so she made some hygiene bags, and in there it's the toothpaste, toothbrushes, deodorant, all kinds of stuff for them, and she was super excited to do this.
If you would like to donate supplies for Audie's mission, we have that information on crossroadstoday.com. We're shining a light on some of the incredible local students who are turning the page to their next chapter. Congratulations to Danny Lynn. The Balboas say congratulations. We are so beyond proud of you and your accomplishments. Can't wait to see where the future leads you. Love you, Danny. And congrats to Victoria West High School graduate Joseph. Mom, Nana, Julianne, Johanna, and Jonah say congratulations, Joseph Saldana. We are extremely proud of you and everything you have accomplished over these last 4 years. We know it hasn't been easy, but you did it. We can't wait to see where your journey takes you. And congratulations to Madeline, who will graduate from Victoria East High School tonight. Congratulations on this huge accomplishment to our beautiful daughter, Madeline. We are so beyond proud of you. No matter how hard things have been for our family lately, you still have pushed through and persevered. We love you and are so proud of the respectful young lady you are becoming. Next stop, college. You got this, princess. Love you always. If you have a special grad you want to celebrate, you have until June 13th to send in a photo and message. We're featuring our area grads on air and on social media. Just go to crossroadstoday.com, click on the entertainment tab, then the contest tab to submit yours. Well, this brings us to our viewer poll today. What advice would you give to all these new graduates? Follow your passion, network and make connections, keep learning, don't be afraid to fail. Those are all good suggestions, but we want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and 42% say don't be afraid to fail. I think I agree with that one. But continue voting. We'll have the latest results coming up tonight at 10. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Elon Musk steps back from his government role. See what's behind the change and what happens next. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6. Plus, the Trump administration announces sweeping changes to federal hiring, what's out, and what's next for government jobs. Gave the Trump administration a big win on immigration. They ruled that a Biden-era program letting certain migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela live and work in the U.S. can be paused. This program required a U.S. sponsor and security checks, but on his first day back, Trump moved to end it. The court agreed that the government does not have to review each case one by one. This is the second time the court has backed Trump's push to revoke this temporary legal status. The case is still working its way through lower courts, but for now, deportations could move forward. Tech billionaire Elon Musk is officially making his planned departure from his role leading the Department of Government Efficiency. But during a farewell in the Oval Office this afternoon, President Donald Trump made it clear that Musk will continue helping the administration. Julia Benbrook has details on what this means for Doge's efforts.
Tech billionaire Elon Musk, who has been by President Donald Trump's side for these crucial first few months of the term, is stepping back from his role as a special government employee, where he led the Department of Government Efficiency's efforts to identify and eliminate, quote, waste, fraud, and abuse within the federal government. In the Oval Office, with Musk standing nearby, the president touted Doge's work.
We'll remember you as we announce billions of dollars of extra waste, fraud, and abuse.
As Musk shifts his focus back to his companies like SpaceX and Tesla, he is still expected to serve as an advisor. And Doge is expected to continue its work with staffers stationed across various government agencies.
I think the Doge team is doing an incredible job. They're going to continue doing an incredible job, and I'll continue to be visiting here and be a friend and advisor to the president.
Under Musk's leadership, at least 121,000 federal worker jobs were cut or targeted for cuts in Trump's first 100 days. And federal grants and programs have been slashed. Some reinstated, though, after court challenges. Those moves, at times controversial, leave a lasting impact on various departments across the federal government. Doge estimates that it has saved $175 billion so far, though questions have been raised about the accuracy of that tally. We have seen Musk become more critical of the Trump administration in recent days, telling CBS News that while he agrees with much of what the administration is doing, there are some differences of opinion. In that same interview, Musk criticized Trump's so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, saying that the massive piece of legislation could undermine Doge's efforts. Reporting at the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
The Trump administration has rolled out new guidelines that ban using race or gender in federal hiring decisions. On Thursday, the Office of Personnel Management sent a memo to agency leaders telling them to stop considering things like race, sex, ethnicity, or national origin when hiring, recruiting, or promoting employees. Any programs based on those factors are supposed to end as well. This is all part of the administration's so-called merit hiring plan, which is meant to make sure federal workers are fully committed to, quote, faithfully serving the executive branch.
Well, we got up to 83 degrees today. It was a lot cooler than it's normally been, but we are looking at maybe some more rain for us to add to these totals to end up the month of May. We'll be talking about that coming up.
25 News Now is here to keep you informed and prepared. Is your family hurricane ready? Join Chief Meteorologist McLovio Perez, Trey Mining, and Parker Cox for Storm Prep 2025, June 2nd at 6:30 p.m. on KAVU TV. Get the 2025 hurricane forecast, learn the latest in storm tracking, marine life dangers, and why checking your insurance now could save you later. Storm Prep 2025, June 2nd at 6:30 on KAVU TV. Don't face the storm unprepared.
Well, good afternoon, Crossroads. We had a little bit of cloud cover here just a little while ago, but we got lots of rain for us. So mostly cloudy skies is what we're kind of seeing right here in the background. But 83 degrees is what we're currently at right now with those northerly winds that have finally blown in from that frontal system that is pushing on through. But it's been 83 for quite some time now. Now we did get, look at that, an inch and 1.66 inches of rain this morning. So lots of rain, and we're finally above average for the month of May. getting close to capping off the month here, so hopefully we will be able to maintain that. But the frontal system has moved on through here, and as well as all that rain that is pushed through, but we are seeing some lingering showers that are going to be continuing, as well as a high pressure system that's going to be moving here. There's Tropical Storm Alvin there down in the Pacific, but those rainfall totals 1.25 here in the center of Victoria, but we saw about an inch, inch and a half, close to 2 inches here in Victoria, but a lot farther north, 2 inches, 3 inches, even some areas may have seen 4 inches of rain there along the I-10 corridor. We may continue to see some more rain here, but along the Guadalupe Basin, this is where we get all that water going into the river. So this was our best portion right here for the rain. And when we're talking about more rain, we're going to be looking at all these showers. But there's the frontal system. There's where all the rain is right now there along the border. And we are seeing a little bit of sprinkles begin to pop up here right around Karnes City. So we'll continue to watch those just to see if they pop up here, especially around Victoria, because I know there's a lot of events going on today. Now, the Guadalupe River starting to rise up. We're looking here Monday for its peak there with all of the rain that we've received over the week. And we're going to continue seeing maybe some possible isolated thunderstorms begin to pop up here later, or showers and thunderstorms begin to pop up here in the afternoon time around the crossroads, as well as here on Saturday in the evening time, in the afternoon time with the daytime heating. May see some more showers begin to pop up for us as well, but the cloud cover is going to be clearing up for us as we head into Sunday, and that's when temperatures are going to be rising because of this mid-level high that is going to be moving through here through the weekend. It's going to be settling down for some time, and it's going to be moving out of here pretty quick. And that's going to open up for this little low that's over there in LA. Could give us a little chance of some rain here Thursday, so there's an open window possibly for some rain, so we're going to continue to look at that. But muggy conditions are going to be persistent here for the next 6 days, especially while things begin to dry up and evaporate. It's going to be feeling a little sticky outside for those days. Now, temperatures, though, will be well into the low 70s, mid-low 70s for us here tomorrow morning. We'll be getting up into the mid-upper 80s, maybe some 90s in some areas. We'll be dropping back down into the low 70s, mid-low 70s once again before we start getting into the warmer conditions here, getting to 93 here on Sunday for us. Now, I know graduations. Congratulations to everyone here at Victoria East. I know your graduation's today, but a little 20% shower possible here at graduation. Now, mostly cloudy skies are going to be possible, but it is going to be a lot cooler here today. Tomorrow will be a little bit different, so we'll be talking about that tomorrow. But Port Lavaca, going to be seeing 88 there. Now, the winds will be shifting there out of the east-southeast here once those northerly winds finally finish what they're doing. And around the evening time, as well as here in Victoria, 88 getting to 89 here around the 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock range, as well as Cuero, 89 with mostly cloudy skies. Now we do have that 20% chance of rain for the day, and that 20% chance is going to diminish here going into Sunday. Temperatures will rise up Monday. That high pressure will move out, and we'll see those rain chances once again return. Now don't forget to scan the QR code for more news, weather, and sports. Shawna?
All right, thank you. Heading into the weekend with some warm and humid weather. Feels like summer. Well, now we send it over to Max Williams for a look at sports.
That's right, Shawna. We had the early breaking news right with the UHV to Texas A&M system with the transfer. Well, how is this going to affect the athletic programs? I'm going to tell you all that coming up in a few moments in sports. Happy Friday across. It's also happy graduation day for those Victoria East grads there. They're going to graduate their Memorial Stadium there in a couple hours. But now we're going over from high school area to some breaking news earlier this week where we saw Governor Greg Abbott approve the UHV to Texas A&M sister transfer bill. So how will this affect UHV athletics? Here's my deep dive story of what changes will be made with this transfer news in process. Earlier this week, we had breaking news that Governor Greg Abbott officially signed the UHV transfer bill, which would send UHV over to the Texas A&M system. Formal transfer of this will start on June 1st and won't be completed entirely until September 1st. So, how will this affect UHV athletics in the future? UHV AD Ashley Wallachau highlights the biggest change that will happen with this transfer in athletics.
Obviously, the name is going to change. That was part of the bill, to go from the University of Houston Victoria to Texas A&M University Victoria. So that'll change.
Besides the name being the biggest change, the mascot, colors, and most of the branding will remain the same.
Has been made to keep the logo and the mascot, so the Jaguars and the colors will remain the same.
Keeping the basic premise of the campus the same, one interesting fact Wallachau mentioned relates to the class rings and whether students would want to have the UHV or Texas A&M logo applied.
This year they're going to be given the option of whether they want, on the rings, the degrees will be Texas A&M University degrees, but if they get their class ring, they'll have the option of putting either the UHV logo on it or the A&M Victoria logo on it.
In the end, the only athletic teams will be slightly affected by this transfer is both women's and men's soccer, which will start practice in early August and will begin game action early September. We'll keep you updated on any more changes to this transfer on CrossroadsToday.com. All right, now over to the Victoria Generals. They're looking to go back-to-back TCL championships this season. They're going to open up the regular season there on June 3rd versus the Seguin River Monsters in Seguin. So the Generals had a chance to talk to Generals head coach Michael Oros, who's currently still coaching high school baseball, believe it or not. His team there in the Kingwood Mustangs are just one win away from heading to the state tournament there next week there. They can get the job done. They will move on there. But before that all happened there for Oros, I caught up with him to ask about how he feels heading into summer ball action there this week.
Roadrunners that are coming in that are currently in a regional at Austin, so they're going to have a few weeks before we get to them. We got some JUCO faces that'll come in, some out of state, and even some out of country kids that will be visiting Victoria for the first time.
With Horace mentioning all the new guys coming in this season, some of the returners that you're going to remember there, Damian Whitfield and Diego Diaz, will be back there. So again, they got some huge pieces in the Generals. They're looking to go, like I mentioned, back-to-back championships there this season. And now, finally, how about Wednesday? I mentioned Goliad baseball star Barrett Garcia will be competing in the Coastal Bend College All-Star Game. While there are two other local names that we got to mention as well, they're going to be competing. And Cuero pitcher Caleb Nagel and also Victoria East Grayson Youngblood. For Nagel, he was second in batting average and second in on-base percentage this season. As for Youngblood, he led the Titans in stolen bases with 32 and then was second in hits with 39. These two will compete there in the CBC All-Star Game. That'll be June 8th at Cavanis Field there in Corpus, and it'll start there at 5 p.m. And that's going to do it here in sports. Shawna, back to you.
Well, stay with us. A surprising visitor stops traffic in a South Africa suburb. His unusual rescue story is up next. An enormous elephant seal decided to take a little stroll right into a suburb of Cape Town, South Africa. This giant was just chilling by the side of the road about a half a mile inland. So talk about a surprise visitor, not someone you normally see inland. Elephant seals are the biggest seals on the planet, and they usually hang out way down near the sub-Antarctic. So seeing one this far north is super rare. Locals quickly gave him a name, Gordon, or just Gordy for short. The Cape of Good Hope SPCA jumped in to help and rounded up a 1-ton seal. Can't be easy, but it did take them nearly 9 hours and a whole team of agencies to gently guide Gordy back home, safe and sound, into the ocean. You saw him kind of slumping over there. Guess Gordy just wanted a little adventure before heading back to the waves.
That blew my mind. That's probably the craziest thing I've seen in a long time. Just a seal just laying on a car, like that's crazy.
Right? Half a mile inland.
And you said 1 ton?
1 ton.
Goodness, that is crazy.
That is on crazy. Land, you know, in the water.
I wonder how far he had to travel to get.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know how he traveled that far. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man. I mean,
well, speaking of, I guess, water, got some little more river flows. Going to see a little bit of rain here this weekend. But temperatures are going to be rising up here, getting to about 93. But rain chances will diminish here at the beginning of next week. But start to see them return here coming into Wednesday and Thursday. So.
All right, the sun will be coming out.
Yes.
Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight at 10.